So let's see what Glister can accomplish here. Obviously, they're going to be on the defense first. It will be attack first on the side of Meta Athena. Innovation back on that Sombra. This is a big weakness for the team. Songboost goes back to Tracer. So Innovation has really had to flex quite a bit recently. Like, forced to flex onto the Tracer. Didn't get to play the Soldier that he's good at. Now he's back on the Sombra. It's a bit straining here. We'll see if they can have better coordination than they did on Numbani as Architect sticks with the defensive Genji.
Well, Songboost is going to die. Architect up here onto the high ground. No Widowmakers to worry about. Bit of an awkward spot for the Winston to try to leap onto you to get the damage through. So Architect is going to push very far forward and just takes down Disney.
Well, you know, you can't show yourself there alone or you will be killed. They already knew everyone backed off because one support was dead. Now I have to wait for another support to respawn. This is a disaster for Meta Athena. You can't attack with this Sombra composition without your Lucio. So Lucio dies, they have to wait for Disney to respawn. Now Innovation gets killed.
Massive money on that. Deflect coming through there from Architect, blocking so much damage.
There needs to be more support for these heroes. Architect should not be allowed to just simply go in and kill weak heroes. The heals need to come through. He's just picking them up. Now he's going to get free farm off Sansom.
He basically already has the Dragon Blade ready to go. He's going to have the first ultimate of the game. Innovation's at 28% for an EMP, Wolf.
Yeah,
I'm losing my mind.
This is not good, to put it lightly. Architect's gonna have the blade now, and he's got a good angle. Here he goes.
Goes into the back line, finds Disney there with a Helmet House Smite. Keeps chomping away, kind of slicing in air a little bit, but the damage has been done. They get the push back onto Meta Athena. Innovation does manage to take down Bebe, but they're no closer to really working their way into the point. That cap starts to come through, but will be halted.
Yeah, Glister pushing them out here. Drops that Overwatch spray. I mean, this is going to be a little bit demoralizing, right? You know Architect is an Overwatch League player now. He's been signed to San Francisco, and he is just doing work.
Oh, no, Smite's dead. That's a decent start here to get the ball rolling for Meta Athena. They work their way over onto the point. They'll start this cap coming through. X6-Gaming going to be looking for the retake here. Glister will go down with that Pulse Bomb. Going to have that to try to impact this, and Architect falls as well. So Songboost does get some work done despite being the first one killed here in the game. They will be able to get the cap with just shy of 6 minutes remaining here on the board as they get ready to go over to B.
Well, so we didn't get to see much of everything that happened there, but we know that the fight started off with Innovation getting that pick onto No Smite, then they were able to take control of the point. We were watching something else where everyone else died, but can't tell you guys exactly what happened there, but I will tell you that it was a bit disjointed of a defense by X6. I think they were getting a little bit styly, and Architect was very far away from his teammates.
It's going to be the 1-for-1 there going through. As Innovation jumps back to safety, has that EMP ready to go. See what he wants to invest in here.
Well, he might just try to do a drop down. Problem is that they need to make sure that if he just does that, it's already what X6 expects. They're going to try to prevent him from getting into position. He can't sneak through. This spam is just to prevent Sombra from coming through without being revealed.
Yeah. Not just completely random, but you know, Diva obviously going to be the best one. Doesn't have to reload, has that infinite ammo coming through, so just tries to make sure that Innovation can't find that cheeky path in from the side. Drop it from above with the EMP. So they're going to drop it in. Rhea will drop down. The Diva Bomb makes it back into the mech. No, can't quite do it. There's a half a second more and would have had it. Innovation now looking to take down Bebe. He trades back a little bit of damage there, and Innovation will just abandon the fight. As Architect is very far forward, the Jason onto Songboost has the backup there from Glister, and they will be able to take it down.
They got the DMAC onto Rhea and forced him to use his self-destruct, so that was a huge win in itself, but they couldn't capitalize. They weren't all together. They got gate kept on the high ground there from coming inside. Innovation with some really good patience, actually, to hold on to this instead of just dropping it out trying to kill sports, because that wasn't going to be a fight they could win to win the point. They wanted to have a better push overall here. It's going to be difficult to stop the double support ultimates with Innovation, but if you can find that same angle onto them once again, hit both, it could be huge.
Can't jump up to the EMP, already used the translocator, so can't launch himself up into the sky, but No Smite will get taken down there. Pulse Bomb coming through. Songboost looking for another target, chasing in. Will get Roki in the end. Has to use the recall to get away from Glister. And Transcendence is going to be thrown down here onto the point by Bebe and Disney as they try to stay alive. Luckbeat goes down right as the sound barrier comes down from Chris, and Roki, he's now going to be coming back in, and he has his ultimate ready to go to offer up if they need it. Hack onto the health pack there. Innovation pushing forward, looking to take down Architect on the other side, but now gets pinched from both sides. And Glister, while he's looking the other way, will dash in, smacks him down, and No Smite is just cleaning up house with that Primal Rage.
Sansom loses his mech as well, or at least I think he did.
He has like a sliver.
Oh my god, he's gonna lose it. No way, he gets away.
Actually got out with maybe huge. 5 HP on a mech.
That's amazing too for Meta because they're gonna get a lot of ult charge for the supports off of that. But yeah, that attack didn't force anything but a Transcendence and a Primal Rage. They used everything. Sansam used the self-destruct to remake and almost still lost it. They're gonna switch over now. Innovation onto the Tracer, Songboo's onto this Soldier to try to control the high ground, but a lot of time was wasted with that push.
I mean, you can see just how much trouble he's in, just trying to push out, and now Architect has that Dragon Blade yet again, but he'll just get taken down. Songboo finds the kill before he can even slice a single target. As Roki does manage to get rid of this, but Glister throws in the pulse bomb, doesn't find anything, and Songboo yet again cleans up, taking down the Tracer.
This is a huge opportunity. They got high ground now.
Does not have the tag visor. He's going to have to fight back as No Smite goes forward, threatening them. Firing away from this top position, gets a lot of damage there onto the Winston, but cannot get the finish.
He already used his biofield, so that's why he ran away here when Architect showed himself. He's gonna actually do a lot of damage here to Rhea. Should be able to get back on the high ground, almost gets to the DMAC, but if you get on that high ground again with a big tack visor, that could be what their opening is. Obviously, they don't have the EMP as a tactic to open up a fight anymore. Their target needs to be Rhea if they want to make Songboo's have success. Just like back on Oasis, nothing's changed here.
Architect on is very aggressive here. Sound Barrier will now back him up as he tries to left click his way to a Dragon Blade. Transcendence used by Disney helps push them up onto the high ground, but yet again, they're still getting pinches now, and it's going to be the Sound Barrier. If they can't get anything off this, it's a massive cost for Meta Athena. Songboo's firing away with Attack Visor, but it's going to expire. They haven't found anything. In fact, they're losing because Disney has gone down. Bebe uses his own, another Dragon Blade. This time, takes down the Soldier. He's looking for the Winston. One more slice will do it. A double kill going over to Architect. Adding 2 more there to the kill count.
He got so much ult percent, like you said, in that choke point using the dashes when he had the Sound Barrier. That was a really cool support ultimate because, first of all, worst case, it guarantees Meta Athena's pushed out of that high ground position where Songboo was trying to attack visor. Second of all, it builds so much of the Dragon Blade for Architect. He builds it up, uses it here on the chase out. But as you say, Meta Athena used a lot of tools, both support ultimates. Their attack visor was used as well, and getting up there again is going to be a big challenge. That might have been their one shot. They had attack visor. They're never going to have another chance like this, or like that, excuse me.
Awkward recall there from Glister, but not going to get punished for it. Looking for a way into the backside, has that pulse bomb ready to go, throws one in there, does Innovation. Doesn't find anything for it though, however, and Glister goes in. Also not going to be finding a kill, just going to be the pop out there. Sansam getting demeched and should be taken down. Yeah, Rhea going to be finding that one. And Meta Athena just being held at bay. Nothing that they can do. All these swaps coming through. The different heroes they've tried with the Soldier 76, they've gotten the individual kills. They've taken down Architect, they've taken down Glister at times, but they haven't gotten a single tick on the point. And it's 25 seconds left to go with only ultimates available on the tanks.
You know, it's this, they're so hell-bent on running the Soldier, and you have to get high ground with a Soldier, you have to find that window, you have to get up there, not even necessarily with attack visor, but you need that high ground or you're just not going to have a good time. And Architect is just sneaking into the back line, he's killing supports.
That's going to be another one. Yeah, Chris and Disney are both dead, that should just be it. Songboo tries to run away, will make it out there with his life. One tick does come through as he tries to finish off that Soldier 76 yet again. Bubble down from No Smite will keep himself alive. They'll zap one speed to death, and the bar will just plummet. So they're just going to be cleaning up here with the Dragon Blade. Finds one on the Innovation. Will pop 10-7 out of the mech. We'll be able to take him down. That should be it here for Meta Athena. So at least got the 54.1% going through as they delay for a little bit longer, but that's going to be it. And not too much work needs to be put in here by X6 in order to close out their third map and just take the series.
Well, we've had a few players chosen for Overwatch League from the remaining Korean scene during Stage 2 of Overwatch League, the most recent announced, obviously Architect and Void. And now that Architect is still on this roster, he's able to play today, perhaps due to contract obligations that are not made public. I don't know the answer to those questions, but he's playing today. And for Meta Athena, who looks to potentially be the weakest team in this league, who has struggled in 2 seasons back-to-back. Remember, in Season 2, they were 1 win away from an Apex Finals. How far they've fallen must be frustrating to now have this player who's chosen for Overwatch League play against them in Contenders now, because Architect is just ripping them apart, front, behind, from below. He's killing the sports in the back.
All angles. He's got 360 coverage.
Yeah, man, he does. He is just basically slicing through the support line. The coordination on Meta Athena needs to improve. Oh, this team may find itself in trials again. might not be lucky enough to come back in Season 3. We're only in Week 2 here, but X6, even with their coordination today, they're not look like the X6 they once were in Apex, but they are still, with Architect on the roster today, and Glister's pretty decent Tracer, this absolutely making Meta Athena look like a Trials level team, not a Contenders level team. And you could tell they're trying to adapt. Their dive and their coordination with Luckby and Sansum has been weak. Sansum losing the D.Va duels most of the time. So they're trying to run the Soldier instead, even on attack. We saw it fail for World Game Star as well last week. But sometimes you have to try what's more comfortable. They are running Songboo's up here. He does boost himself with his Helix rockets up to this high ground. Let's see if the defense is good, because it's going to need to be way better than the attack. And Architect and Glister sticking with this dive duo here. Bebe on the Bebe on the Zenyatta means they will be able to burst down the tanks faster with Glister if the opportunity is there.
Seems like we might have an issue here in the booth for Meta Athena.
Looks like
seems like it's just going to be another mic issue like we had yesterday. So
I'm sure it'll be
get this one taken care of.
It'll be sorted soon. You know, we can only speculate because I don't know the technical setup here, but it looks like we have sound mixers here, which is actually way better than using like an online system. But when you have like every player's got different headsets and different setups and sound settings they want to use, there's obviously a chance that something could go wrong, or maybe someone bumped a cable.
It's that X-Fire again, man. Got to move away from that program.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just a problem. That's a nice Genji.
Yeah.
Glister's not playing it, but they have Architect on the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems like maybe they got the
sign. Look at that.
Oh, maybe they got the players to actually sign it. Hard to tell.
I think that might be what's happening.
Yeah, but they got a good Tracer there. Hand's a little tiny compared to the head, but
It
says
the
art style.
It says I came to cheer for X6 on the right, and this says I came to cheer for X6 too.
Good.
On the left one.
They're doing just that. They're doing a good job of it. Now, quick, act like Sombra.
Well, there's a picture of Doraemon. It's actually a time-traveling cat from a Japanese manga.
It's your usual cat antics,
We're going back to Disme. So it says Disme is the meta. As we showed the sign earlier, he's playing it's basically really cool drawings. It shows his face on the Zenyatta and the Zenyatta there. Excuse me, not the Zenyatta, the Moira. So we have a big Reaper fan here. Let Roadhog grapple. Oh my God. You know what? I actually kind of like that one. That's a good suggestion.
That was one of the ones that I heard about, and I honestly would really enjoy seeing it. So there's like this conflict of interest, because the more of those videos they produce, then everyone will expect that every single thing they put on the sign will get done. But actually watching Roadhog be able to grapple would be fantastic. But here we go, back into the game. Songboo's just going to be sitting up here.
Yeah, he actually got a Helix onto Architect. Looks like he got a second one there too, so Architect having to sit back for a while. But he comes down here, the dive comes through.
That's right, on the backside. Yeah, Disney's going to go down, but so is Rhea. So getting rid of one of the tanks there for X6-Gaming as Luckby jumps back here onto the point. A little worried there for him. Thought maybe he was just going to end up jumping off the map, but he is still just under siege. That time he's going to do it, but Architect, he dashed down. He had the downward angle, couldn't get back over onto the wall because he just pushed himself out of range.
I cannot believe that just happened, by the way. Literally, they respawn, come back here with the faster respawns. Architect does so much damage, he beats No Smite in the 1v1 as Genji. As a damaged Genji, I should correct myself to remind everyone that he was not at full health. X6 just wants to walk through this point and win this series, man. They've already decided this one's over. Meta Athena's going to switch Chris onto the Ana here. They're going to look to try to have the same kind of defense they used earlier, but...
Oh, already the pop getting ready to come through. That pulse bomb just going to seal the deal. Santam gets knocked out. Luckby has died yet again. They'll finish off the baby D.Va. Pulse bomb does get no smite, so it's a nice little reprieve here for the side of Meta Athena, but they're still under siege, and the takes are getting ready to come through. They have to get onto the point to stop this one. First one nearly completed. They'll get it, and maybe that's just about to be it. 46.5%. Almost there. Just shy of 9 more to go before they can close this one out. Glister doing some serious work. Disney kites back. Massive damage there onto Chris. He's going to have to sit into the backside, maybe even go retreat into the respawn room just to get topped up faster. They will die, but Glister's just doing so much work, commanding control over their supports. But with Songboo's here onto the Mei, does manage to take him down. Another Dragon Blade. Architect gets one with the dash. The slicing and the dicing doesn't really pay off too well for him yet again.
Fight now, though.
They are still coming out on top. The Mei there to try to delay. will stay alive here for the moment as Songboost just keeps firing away. They will get Roki, and seems like they actually stopped the push here for the moment.
Songboost getting that right-click kill onto Blister was huge. That actually really stopped the momentum. Just the headshot there, boom.
All right, Meta. Maybe I wrote you off a bit too soon here, but it's still dangerously close.
I mean, the thing is, like, 530 to get two-thirds of a tick. And they used a lot of tools in that last attack.
Goodbye.
Oops. That was all attacks Zenyatta, by the way. I mean, they used a lot of their tools, a lot of their ultimates, but they have so much time to build so much of an advantage.
Yeah, they're straight back in here. They're focusing down the D.Va. They get rid of him, and Songboost has been popping off so far with his May. Picks up another 2 kills. The wall comes down. He's got the Blizzard. Blister's gonna die.
Songboost, man, maybe you should just be playing the more often.
He is just putting the team on his back right now.
I think to a certain extent we do have to describe the attack pattern of X6. It's pretty telegraphed that they're just trying to slam their way through there and say we're mechanically better than you. We killed Chris with the right click. That's exactly how Chris just died. Dodges it this time. But they're basically trying to say, okay, we killed Chris. We have the numbers advantage. Let's just come through here and win this. They still have the May out. Like, well, we got this. Pretty much is the idea. And they haven't really been that coordinated. And obviously, Meta Athena is fighting for their lives here.
They start coming through. Just getting that lockdown there, but not going to be able to get the kill. Blister gets taken down by Songboost, who yet again is continuing forward here with the kills. Eliminates Blister. Lucky Deb, but Innovation will fall as well. Songboost will be the sole DPSer here available for the side of Meta as they try to hold out yet again. It seems like it might just be working for the 3rd time or so as they continue to hold off these pushes.
X6 is doing what was coined by Papa Smith as the eco push. We talk about this a lot. Dry pushing is another one of the terms that was created by Monty Adoa in their first Apex
but you know, that one just sounds weird.
It sounds weird, but yeah, I prefer the eco push. But that's basically what X6 is doing. Bebe gets another kill. He's popping off. So now they have an ult advantage. They forced a lot of hero swaps from Meta Athena. The May had to come out and switch it back to the Soldier.
I would have just stayed on the May, actually, if I was Songboost. He was doing really well,
So basically, X6 now is able to come in with an ult advantage. If they have double support ultimates, I think that's really when the Dragon Blade is going to fly off here for Architect. All they need to do is get a team wipe just once, and it's all over.
Yep. Almost there, Luckbeat trying to hunt down Architect. Would love to get rid of that Genji there as he has the Dragon Blade available. Can't finish him off, and Innovation has to use the recall. They go forward, Pulse Bomb comes through, will get Rhea out of the mech. The self-destruct will be popped at the same time. Rhea taken down by that tax fire, but Songboost has been cut out. Architect finds another one. 2 kills, both DPSers on the side of Meta Athena go down.
They've got Transcendence still too, so that could be used to survive, to finish this tick.
They might have to use it, but Roki actually gets eliminated there by that self-destruct, but Architect is not done yet. Goes forward, they get rid of Luckbeat, they can't run a Songboost. He only throws down the wall, can't do much else, but the Doom Fist swap from Chris finds some success, but it's just going to be short-lived as Meta will get bled out eventually. X6 have won the series. Going to be 3-0 for them so far. Meta Athena get one more chance to pick up another map. Would be their 2nd so far of the season. But already this team looking down and out as far as the end of the season standings are going to be concerned.
Meta Athena has produced a lot of talent. Players like Kuhn, Chongshik in the past have moved on. And we've had a few major sister teams in Korea for Overwatch. There was MVP Space and, of course, MVP Infinity. Infinity disbanded, had Kongdu Panthera, Kongdu Uncia. Uncia folded and later disbanded while all their talent moved into Panthera.
And Wings and Titans.
And Wings and Titans as well. But they were never really able to have relevant results.
Red and Blue.
Afrika, yep, that's another
not a lot of sister teams is what we're saying.
Afrika Red's players were absorbed into Afrika Blue. Afrika Blue was the team that had success and, of course, renamed to Afrika later. And now, when you look at Meta Athena, we have a very similar situation where both teams qualified through trials for this tournament. They're in the same group. But Meta Athena seems to be the new foster talent roster, whereas the experienced talent has, for the most part, with the exception of Chris here, moved into Metabellum, who's now actually one of the big favorites to get into playoffs. So for Meta Athena, this is frustrating. They've got the coach in the booth. There's a lot of discussion going on here. You know, they don't have a sub listed today. I don't think there's any subs that can come into play. This is going to be the roster we see for the final map. But the series ends, and again, it feels probably demoralizing that Architect is just able to run circles quite literally. Well, maybe literally dash circles around this team. And sure, there were a few lazy attacks, let's say, after they finished point A, which shouldn't have happened the way it did, where Architect was alone and then killed a Winston by himself. There were a few lazy attacks, and they messed around a little bit, then had to get the serious mode. They had the double support ultimates to finish the fight. There's just things that should not be happening with Athena. Chris should not be dying multiple times to right clicks from an attack Zenyatta. That should not happen. He should not be standing still so much or telegraphing his movement so much for that to occur.
Yeah.
The dive for Meta Athena was very weak against Blossom. They could not get on top of the Widowmaker that Ons was running on Hollywood, despite the fact that he was alone. And they had a few fights where they wasted cooldowns trying to kill Ons, couldn't kill him. So I know why. I understand why they're running the Soldier now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Architect showed up today, so that's a problem. You've got Godspeed playing well. Glister is now subbed in. Looks to be just as good as Godspeed on the Tracer, if not better, in that third map. So as if you're Meta Athena, you're thinking, wow, I didn't expect Architect. We had the strategy prepared. It's not going well. It's a disaster, and you're probably already thinking, you're not thinking about Game 4 so much. You're thinking about the next series. You're thinking about your next week's
Yeah,
match.
kind of. How are we going to improve in the meantime to get ready for that next series, whoever their opponent is? And again, if it is their sister team, then, well, there goes probably one of your regular scrim partners out the window, because you don't really want to show them whatever you've been practicing. But either way, it's not looking good here for Meta Athena. They have failed to pick up a single map so far. It's going to be one more, yet again, their choice as we get ready to go into Escort. We know that they're going to be looking possibly towards Dorado to try to get a victory there, but I don't know, man. Again, it seemed like Control in their first series versus Blossom, Control was where they looked dominant. They had a very nice performance. They were able to take away that map 2-0. And now everything is just crumbling around them. They're just falling short at every single attempt.
I'm not sold on Soldier 76 in this meta right now.
I'm sold on the May, apparently,
Yeah,
when it comes down to just extended holds there on point B.
Sure.
Of course, it's always been a desperation play, but Songboost is actually making it look quite good.
Yeah, but he bought some time and then he won a second fight, then used the Blizzard. But you always got to switch. Like, it's never really going to work long term. But his Soldier 76, I'm not sold on it, but I'm not saying he's a bad Soldier 76. But the team is not playing around his Soldier 76. Soldier 76 is not meta at the moment. You either have the Sombra dive or the defensive Sombra, depending on which position you're in. So we're going to have Godspeed back in.
Okay.
Well,
Glister got his moment.
Yeah. But you also know that, you know, the Sombra play from Innovation was quite weak. So a lot of changes being forced on the side of Meta Athena. They're trying to adapt with this 6-man roster they have. And it's just unfortunate that they're playing against such great players on X6, and X6 has Architect in today, which they might not have known that he was going to be playing, because you and I certainly did not until we sat in these chairs. So it's a struggle, and it's just tough. I feel like in this meta, though, unless you're really feeling like the patch is going to come out soon, looks like we have another sub with Choyo Bin coming in as well.
Okay.
So if you really feel like, you know, the patch is coming out soon, the Sombra meta is not going to last, if you're really confident in that, I can get behind this idea, but because we don't know when that patch is going to become available in Contenders yet, and this is the meta that's been practiced by every other team for a long time, if you're trying to redo, if you're the only team, by the way, with the exception of World Games started messing around with it a little bit, if you're the only team that's trying to not play Sombra and trying to play attack Soldier, defend Soldier against some of the best dive in Korea, you know, it's not going to be the winning strategy, I feel like. And with coordination like we've seen from Meta Athena, it just has not been successful. Choyobin's got his jersey today. Transfer lock stop on April 3rd, so if the rumors don't become true by then, I suppose we'll be seeing a lot more of him.
Yeah.
He was listed as a sub today, but I thought that might just be to keep up appearances, but he's in the booth, he's playing for real.
Yeah, he's going to be starting up here for the final map of this first series here on the day. But yeah, already a lot of surprises here from X6. Architect was a surprise. Glister wasn't even on our roster list here for the day. And he's shown up and had a pretty decent performance for his first outing in Contenders so far. So I expect that once Architect does shift over to Overwatch League, we'll be seeing a lot of the Glister Godspeed coming through. So it seems like everyone's just kind of taking their turn getting to play with Architect while he's still around. You know, it's like, oh, you're going to go away soon, so let's just spend some quality time together and just crush Meta Athena.
I mean, they're basically having a little bit of a let's share the food, let's all gather around the Meta Athena, and everyone gets a bite at the moment. Meta Athena does seem to be the weakest team. out of all 12 at the moment. They came in as the last seed, the 12th seed from Trials. So
it's hard for me to pick between them or WGS at the moment. I think that either of those, or WSG.
Yeah, World Game Start. WGS.
Yeah. It's hard for me to pick between those two because their match versus O2 was just way too scrappy. It was just not clean at all. It's hard for me to say which of those I think is the weakest so far, but again, predictably, it's going to be Dorado here for Meta Athena as their last stand to try to pick up another map. It would only be their second map win of the season thus far.
I want to see how
every point really does count.
I want to see how they approach this, because if it's just Songboo's on the Soldier again on defense and potentially on attack as well, which would be even harder to pull off, then, you know, I might find myself disappointed. But if we see triple tank, quad tank, something unusual like that, like the old meta Athena, sure, Poon's not on this roster, he's on Vellum now. That would be a cool way to approach it. Maybe, you know, something completely different, like, what have fan cheers?
Well, they're going to need every single ounce of energy they can squeeze out of that audience.
Something different like a Sombra pick, something that is more meta, even though it's not their strength, I would appreciate, since this match, it matters for standings, obviously, but in terms of this series, it's over. We do see Orisa Widowmaker setup. So Innovation's going back to a comfortable hero. The Widowmaker, I talked about this at the beginning of the night. Songboo's back on the Tracer. They've got protection for this Widow. I like this a lot more than what they've shown us all night long.
Couple shots coming out there. Sombra flip coming through for Architects. They're not going to be seeing that Pharah coming in. Innovation needing to line up the heads of X6-Gaming to stop them on this push. We'll see if he can accomplish that. We know how reliable the Orisa Roadhog can be for setting up either the hooks or the headshots. It's going to be a matter of execution here from these guys. Luckbeat is quite far forward, has the kite back already. They start piling in, and X6 is just going to cut around to the right-hand flank through the buildings, which denies the sightlines away from the Widowmaker.
Yeah, there's just no way for Innovation to realistically good line of sight here. Unfortunately, he's only connected one shot there onto Joyo Bin. Everything else has been totally air shot.
Yeah, and Sansan has already gone down, so no Roadhog there to back up the Hulk. Godspeed right around the back. He's got the pulse bomb ready to go, throws it down, and says thank you very much. Goes out with a recall to keep himself nice and safe.
Chris has a coalescence, obviously, because he's been healing up these tanks. We use Sansa switching over to the Diva. It looks like Luke B is going to switch over to Winston. They've totally lost their position, but during all these switches, ult charge is lost. We're seeing, you know, Meta Athena keep Chris because they want the coalescence. Probably see Lucio switch soon, but this is just free push for X6.
Yep. I mean, already point A achieved, 5 minutes left as they go into the streets phase. Meta Athena just seeming a bit absent here. Coalescence in the pulse bomb. All that they have. Luckby is sitting on 10% ult charge. As he swapped over to the Orisa, so it's just going to be so long for them to be able to get that primal rage ready to go to try to buy some time away from the cart. And see, it's not going to be building up too rapidly because he's already gone down. Only generated 10% more as he falls. Pulse bomb out there from Songboo is not going to be funny. Anything nearly takes down Architect, but he manages to get out of there with his life. It would seem. That comes through the last second right as that recall goes off, and he'll be topped back up.
Yep, so this is just a dominating attack here on the side of X6. Meta Athena has Innovation still on the Widow with no protection, no line of sight, nowhere you can stand, and Meta Athena also lost the ult charge. Lookby hasn't built much more since last you mentioned it at 39. They are going to use Coalescence to engage.
Coalescence comes down, as does the EMP there from Architects. They take the fight, but actually you're going to be losing out on the first member as Regubbin goes down, but Luckby will be traded back very swiftly here by the side of X6 as they keep moving forward. Nosebite goes in, Sound Barrier comes down, doesn't have to pop that Primal Rage yet because he's perfectly fine, and stick onto the Widowmaker. Godspeed says goodbye, good night, takes up the casual triple kill. Everybody gonna die essentially on the side of Meta Athena, and X6 are just making record time here on Dorado.
He just gets in there, gets the kills, and just sweeps them up. I mean, Innovation finally gonna make a swim to another comfort pick here on the McCree, but this is gonna be one of the places McCree struggles most to get proper line of sight. And at the same time, X6 is also not heavily diving. They're trying to use EMP harass to build that, then go for the EMP to start the engage. They're not going to be going for Winston dive Vortex, not on the Genji, so they're not going to gain much from the flashbangs either. They're not coming to innovation. He's going to be having to try to get line of sight, which will make him vulnerable.
Short hop away there, takes Architect away from that pulse bomb, keeps himself alive for the moment as he keeps nuking it out with the Tracer. Now has the Winston up in his face, EMP ready to go, hops back yet again to try to stay alive, but it's just too many members from Meta Athena chasing forward to take him down. He does fall under the pressure. Meta Athena looking like they might be able to gain control here finally over this card, but X6-Gaming isn't done yet. They managed to take down Songboo's. Luckbeam comes back around the corner trying to stay alive. Massive value here on these zaps coming through as they get rid of Troy Joven. But the payload still has already moved quite a bit.
It finally halted for the first time, which means Innovation can get into a good spot where he can maximize his damage up on the high ground. They can set up to play around him. That is what they need to do right now. Chris is going to pocket here a little bit, so that's going to give better opportunities. This is the best setup Meta Athena's had since they had their first Widow Orisa and Fountain setup. See if they can hold this, because if they lose control of the McCree, this might just be over. Look, when he has room to work with, look at how much he's able to finally do.
Oh, that's going to be the EMP coming through there from Architect as they try to follow up. Luckbeam goes down yet again. First one to be taken out. Architect tries to get that hack in onto Chris, can't quite find it. He barely manages to stay alive. Rez comes through, Winston back into the fight. Coalescence out, pops up D.Va out of the mech, and Songboo's goes down. Maybe D.Va finished off, and X6-Gaming are just chasing them all the way back to the spawn rooms. It's just Innovation and Chris left alive. They'll make it back safely, but the card's just being brought up. They might not be able to get back in here. Innovation immediately gets hacked.
Yep, this is kind of a disaster, obviously, with the EMPs coming through. We saw the EMP hit Sansam, who had self-destruct, by the way. Hits him with the EMP, well, when that forces Innovation away because he's no longer able to be protected by the defense matrix there. Then right afterwards, Architect commits to a second EMP on him. He actually chained them together, stacked them basically so that there was never an opportunity for him to remech. They targeted him down. Innovation didn't die, as you say, he survived. But the rest of the team was pushed so far back, the tanks were obliterated. The focus fire was there onto the D.Va, then onto the Winston, meaning that no damage could come out on the side of Meta Athena. Innovation was looking for his opportunity, had a Deadeye that he was never realistically going to be able to use. And this just feels like a sad ending to what's already been a tough night for Meta Athena. Because with what they've been showing us today, for all we know, we might see the attack Soldier here again, or even attack Widow. But Achilios greater than dry push Doa.
Oh dear. Well, that's a fun one. I'll have to get a screenshot of that instead of the Doa.
Yeah, just send that, link that one to him. You guys can have a discussion.
Oh man.
But look, I don't know what they're gonna run on attack. Innovation has this grin on his face that feels like well, this is just going to be a rough night. I think acceptance is already settled in for Meta Athena. That winning this map is going to take a lot more than I think that they are ready to give tonight. And I don't say that very often as a commentator. We don't see Overwatch games or any other esport games here in Korea that normally go this one-sided. And it's been a rough night.
Yeah. I like that girl just didn't care. The camera's like zooming up into her face, non-flinching, just staring ahead at the games. Too focused on the action.
Well, looks like we might see Songbus on that Widow again on the attack. I said it earlier, kind of half jokingly, but it can work if you can get good line of sight, if you can hit the mid-air shots with the grapple. That's going to need to happen though, and I don't have faith at this exact moment in time. Here comes the dive.
Yeah, I think mine is pretty much exhausted here. X6 will be cutting back from their very forward position. I'm gonna wrap around here into the marketplace. Around the fountain kit, all nice and set up.
Architect going to be back on the Genji, sticking away from the Sombra now.
This is a sneaky Tracer.
He wants potentially this Mercy.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, has Chris even noticed him so far? Oh, now he's going to see the Widowmaker. He definitely got the spot out there. So, shouldn't be too surprising now. Godspeed has to go ahead and kite his way out. Gets to safety. Cart moving up right now, sitting in the underpass, and maybe gets picked off.
Yeah, Songbus actually did a realistic amount of damage to No Smite as well. Had to go back and get healed up with only one healer. It's frustrating.
Taking away, finds the air shot there onto Roki, just going overhead. Takes him down, now looking for Architect, can't burn him down, and X6's defense is actually crumbling. Meta Athena Coming out on top, they're going to get the pop onto the mech there. Songboos couldn't make it to the mega back in time, and Songboos, yeah, he's been doing some serious work with the Widowmaker already.
He's taken a page out of Anza's book. They're setting up this anti-dive defense where they have Lookbee and Sansom protect him, so when X6 tries to come for the flank, tries to come for the kill, Lookbee and Sansom are there to counter both Architect or Godsby. You saw Architect picked off twice when he was nearly about to get the pick, because they are protecting him. They're having that peel for him. And this is actually the best executed attack we've seen from Meta Athena yet. Who would have thought it would have been attack Dorado Widowmaker that forces X6 overconfidence to be their weakness here while they try to dive and get shut down.
Well, will be Godsby flipping over. He's gonna go ahead and say, oh hey, look, there's a Tracer below me here in the bank. Gonna be set up onto the high ground, starts taking shots. Gonna build up for that infra sight. Dragonblade out here from Architect, looking for the Moira, can't find it. The Primal Range is there to respond. He'll get jumped on, finally does take down Disney, has the dash, but can he make it out alive? Is in on top of the gate. Seems like he's gonna be fine. The Rez immediately brings the Moira back into the fray. And now Godsby gonna get left on, has nowhere to go. He'll get taken down, maybe just a bit too late there with the Transcendence. Cannot save the Widowmaker. Now he's in an awkward position on the high ground there. Choyobin will use that self-destruct. Goes back into the mech. Songboos is still just taking pot shots at every single member of X6 that he can see.
Yeah, X6 needs to respect this Widow and get back to the right side and look for more aggressive dives that could punish the Widow when the Widow has to come to them rather than them come to the Widow, because again, Meta Athena has set up this defense of the Widowmaker that's trying to punish Architect here. I like Godsby setting up on the Widow, but he can't be fighting when his opponent's got better line of sight. He's going to lose the sniping battle every time.
Tech's dead. Godsby managed to find innovation, so there's a trade on some of the DPS here, so Widowmakers continue to do some serious work for their squads.
Now this is what I was talking about. Keep Godsby over here on this side. You can't kill Songboost, but he can at least force them to come into them. X6 can force Meta Athena to come to them where they have the better defensive setup rather than trying to dive into this well-defended Widowmaker setup. Songboost going to look for another shot through here, but this has basically been at the end of the push. The momentum has stopped here, and now X6 has done exactly as I was kind of suggesting. They're taking the more defensive step, so Songboost is just struggling to find anyone he can kill. If he shows his face now, he should be sniped by Songboost. So defense is his advantage.
Infra sight almost finds the pick there on the Bebe. He goes down, just gonna be the body shot connecting through.
I mean, Godsby, I said the wrong name there.
Pops up, gets another one. Bebe yet again chunked down to half, but he's going to be okay. Hit onto Godsby now. Songboost still finding some nice shots, but Architect is chasing forward here with the Dragonblade, but he just can't get in on top of the Widowmaker. Second slash will finally take him down, the last one that he had available with that ultimate up. So they disrupt the Widowmaker. Now they're looking for a little bit more. Sends him going low, but has that Moira, has that Mercy there to help keep him in the mech, and in fact, he will punish Choyobin as he goes down. Meanwhile, Lookbee, he's going to bring that payload in 2.78 meters away. They will be able to kill him.
Yeah, I like how X6, eventually when they had the Dragonblade, that was when they were willing to bring the fight to Meta Athena again. And even though they had a pretty even fight, they did it away from the cart, which bought a lot of time. Do we have the sneaky back cap coming here from Innovation to actually secure it? They should have had something fail-safe for that. But either way, had that Innovation sneak by not actually completed the cart, they would have actually been able to buy a lot of time with the longer respawns there. Bit of a mistake there to let Innovation tag that cart to get completion, but still, I liked how X6 utilized the Dragonblade there.
Now they just give more time here to Meta Athena to try to get the completion here on the map. 3 minutes remaining, so they're already going to be starting off this final push with less time than X6 finished with, but they can possibly force those OT rounds to come through. Godsby trying to hunt, just waving at the silhouette as Innovation does die.
Yeah, he was back hiding for a while. They finally got the revenge after he was able to tag that card in.
You see Infra sight, he's going to let that one expire. It looks like he's going to go in for the swap, possibly back to Tracer. Yep, there it is. Songboost now toe-to-toe on Genji with Architect. Nice deflection coming through. Dragonblade still ready. Does he want to draw it out now or save it? Seems like he's going to pull it out. Jumps back in looking for the Diva. Couple more hits to take him out. The focus fire there from the healing. Quite a bit of work, delays it significantly, and Architect yet again only gets the one.
I'm not entirely sure why Disby is running the Moira. This has been his favorite support throughout all of Contenders so far. It's not going to be helpful with the Genji. Songboost can't go as aggressively. Lookbee can't be as aggressive as Innovation almost killed Architect here. But he can't be as aggressive with the Genji as Architect can, because he has Orbs of Harmony to actually keep him healed at range. That's why he's able to build more Dragon Blade percentage, harass more often. He did die here in this case while he was harassing, but still. This means going to look for the Coalescence.
Full spawn there from Innovation. Going to be looking for the pop. Open just throwing down that self-destruct. Won't be finding anything, but allows him to get back into the mech. Now Innovation dashing through. Doesn't have that recall available. Goes back in looking for Godspeed. Trading up quite nicely, and Luckby's going to be there to scoop up the kill. Transcendence down from Bebe. With a sound barrier ready to go from Roki. Should they have to use it? Bebe getting jumped on. He's going to go low, but manages to get the kill there. Unlucky and stays alive for just a little bit longer, but Chris takes him down in the end. Innovation building up for yet another pulse bomb. Would love to take Joy Yobin or Nosebite out of the fight. Speaking of which, Disney finds the kill, and Nosebite could not use the Primal Rage in time. Pulse bomb finds the Baby Diva. Architect goes down, and Songwood finds that one. And they're getting ready to round this final corner. Meta Athena might be able to get this push with some time left in the bank.
Yeah, Architect respawns now. The Dragon Blade coming out for Songboost a little bit unnecessary here. He built it quickly, but that Coalescence for Disney was what really got them around. Great Primal Rage here by Nosebite to survive through this. They got the barrier up as well. Architect just looking for that blade, pushing the supports away right now.
Yeah, he's trying to take down Chris, but just cannot do it. The sound barrier will come through to keep them up. Architect going low, kites back.
That long range
healing enough to keep himself alive. But the Dragon Blade, it needs to be impactful if they want to stop it, if they want to finish Meta Athena right here. But Nosebite going down is not a good look. Dashes down, gets one there onto Luckby, trying to follow up for a second. Can't find it, just slashing it air at the end yet again. And now we'll get taken down. Innovation going forward, hits him with the pistol and will finish him off. But X6-Gaming, they retain control here for the moment with a Transcendence on the way.
Godspeed just waiting for the basically what angle they're going to take. Looks like they're just going to come around here onto the high ground. Songboost red enough right now.
He nearly has a Dragon Blade.
Yeah, but he's not going to have any long range healing when he does pull it out. They have no support ultimates.
Jump in onto the Moira, would love to eliminate Disney here as Godby goes hunting, sends him, I believe, knocked out of the mech. Is now throws down the self-destruct to try to get in, but Chris has been taken out by the self-destruct, and Architect comes up with the kill onto the enemy Genji. They may help keep everybody alive there with that Transcendence, and now it's just a matter of time. Meta Athena has such a long run back. They have so few people pushed up here with the payload, and this should just be the series going over. X6 already winning it with their 3-0, now making it a 4. Just to add insult to injury, Meta Athena here in their second week will not be picking up a single map point as X6 takes it home.
Baby, just keeping Architect alive. That last Dragon Blade we saw from Architect was the exact reason why I questioned the Moira pick over the Zenyatta. You saw Architect finish his Dragon Blade, he was at 20 health. Boom, instantly we get the Harmony Orb onto him. He heals up to full, pulls a Dragon Blade, kills 2, damages the rest of the team. They win the fight, they stop the momentum that was rolling through for Meta Athena. We saw on the other side when the Dragon Blade was pulled for Meta Athena, Moira couldn't keep them healed. Chris got picked off, they ended up losing both supports. Joy Hyobin actually had a great self-destruct there as well. There's no way to keep the Dragon Blade of Songboost alive, so comparatively, sure, we know Architect is the better Genji, but even when he's pressured, even when he was put in these awkward situations, it was Bebe who kept him alive. And Bebe had so many great right clicks today. It's dueling with the dive against him as well. Yep. He may end up being MVP. It would not be surprised. I'd have to give it to Architect myself, of course, but Bebe looked really fantastic tonight. A great Zenyatta player who did empower a lot of what Architect was doing.
I would go for either Bebe or maybe even Godsby, even though he was subbed out for the map. We got to see Glister be brought in, but just because, especially because of the work that he did on Navani to help secure that victory for X6, was just wonderful performance from him on the Tracer, really feeling the shoes of Time Boy with that pick coming through. But the storyline MVP interview would be Architect, so we can hear from him one last time before he departs us here in Korea for the Overwatch League.
For Meta Athena, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
You know, they at least did do what I was looking. I got to see what I was looking for in that 4th map. They played the Comfort Widow. They actually got good line of sights there. They had a nice defensive setup to prevent X6 from crushing them with dive. Really reminiscent of what we saw Blossom do on Hollywood last week against Meta Athena. Maybe they picked it up from that loss. It was really well executed, but X6 looks to be the stronger team today, especially with Architect subbing in, so to speak. Yeah. Don't know the details around all that, but yeah, Meta Athena, they need to work on their Sombra. If they're thinking that Sombra meta is going to end soon. They need to work on long-range hit scan and protection of the soldier, because even when we go into maybe if Sombra gets nerfed, we just go back to Genji Tracer all the time, then that soldier pick still isn't going to hold up water if they can't protect it correctly, if they can't burst down the D.Va mechs to give those tac visors space to work with. Songbu's a great soldier player. Surprised we didn't see innovation on that soldier, but Songbu's, he showed up, but the team coordination to allow him to get value out of it was not there.
Yeah, and I mean, even if it is a matter of just looking forward to when that Sombra pick isn't as viable because they are ineffective at running it, it doesn't really matter because every single map that you pick up, it's a single round robin for your group. Every single map that you pick up is just so important when it comes down to actually trying to make it into playoffs. And not getting a single map win here in week 2 really kind of does condemn Meta Athena to rest down towards the bottom side of the standings because they haven't shown us that they have the potential to actually break out and get a 4-0 victory. The rest of the opponents are just going to get harder from here. Yeah. So already, only picking up 1 map win is just not a good look for these guys, and I kind of worry about the future for this squad staying in Contenders.
Yeah, I mean, they brought a lot of new members. They brought PSG. We have Saya player leave the roster, and an awesome guy as well, and that's part of why they were able to make it through Contenders. Here's our winner for best cheerfuls.
Yeah, so, that's going to be the best sign.
But yeah, I mean, we had basically a lot of players that helped them do well in trials just totally get taken to Overwatch League, and then they had to reform with innovation who didn't have synergy with the squad. So yeah, it's a rough time for Meta Athena, and there's going to be some Contender squads that lose some of their best talent to Overwatch League and struggle to adapt. That will continue to happen. But it's just so sad that Meta Athena was one of our best teams in Apex back in Season 2 and has never, ever been able to recover since. Here's our best hero cam.
Best hero cam. She's like, oh God, please, not this again. Well, our best sign winner does actually walk away with some Overwatch-themed Razor gear, doing the nice 2-second delay on the Sombra nerf. Finally gets it. I don't know if she wins anything.
I think she does. I'm not sure what it is.
I think she wins some embarrassment. She won a chock full of embarrassment.
Well, she's hiding now. Just like Sombra, you know, except she's revealed just like Sombra can be.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, well, indeed. But, you know.
So, yeah, but, you know, if you guys want to come visit, bring a nice fan sign, maybe you can walk away with a new keyboard or mouse or head. I don't know what exactly we're giving away, but I know it's all of that stuff that Razor has put out.
Yeah.
I own quite a bit of it. I got 2 of those mice. They're good. Death Adders is nice.
So, definitely an opportunity to get some gaming gear if you come down here. You know, just go to the Ticket Link website, get tickets. It's pretty easy to get tickets to come to this.
Personally, I thought the best sign was Achilios is greater than Dry Push Doa, but I'm not the one who picks this, who's you know, on the judging panel. So unfortunately, I can't contribute.
I think it's about art, though. Even though it was art.
That was